allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, approval of treasurer warrants. Payroll warrants for December 7th and 14th.
I'll move we approve the payroll warrants for December 7th and December 14th.
Second.
All those in favor? Accounts payable warrants, December 11th and December 18th. I'll second. All those in favor? Thank you. Approval of the minutes for December 4th. Are there any corrections? Yes.
I just have a question on, under department head or committee chair, with the chief's request. The way it reads, it sounds like you're going to take the money out of contingency for the cost of a generator, but I thought that we had decided that that money would come out of his regular maintenance budget.
That's correct.
You're
It kind of reads, like if you just read this.
Yes.
And then on the next page, page 2, under the item F, the school board joint meeting, it mentions here that the chair wanted to talk about the future plan for the school board, but I think also Ben wanted to talk about ways that we could share costs with the school board,
Correct.
and I thought that was important. And yeah, that's it.
That's it? Any other corrections? Can I have a motion to accept as amended?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you. We have no special presentations or awards or committee appointments. The public hearing, we are going to hold off on that. It's been posted at 6 o'clock, so we will have to wait until 6 o'clock. I'm sorry, Carla. So we'll get back to that. The next one is public comment. At each regular selectman meeting, there'll be time devoted to any resident or taxpayer of the town of Wiscasset to address the selectmen regarding any item that is not on the agenda for that meeting. Do we have any public comment? I'll take Judy first.
Age thing.
Ooh. Albert Murray.
Ladies before gentlemen.
I just want to give you a quick mini report on the Family Wishes program. I'm not going to go through the list of the people we need to thank because I'm hoping to do a press release after Christmas holidays and have some details in there. But I want to thank the good people of Wiscasset. You know, sometimes we don't always get good publicity, but this town is amazing. The number of people, we had over 300 tags on trees, around the trees around town. And we have fulfilled all of those tag wishes. So I want to thank especially Kathy for her support and in the office, and I hope you'll read the article in the paper when it comes out if they're willing to meet with us and share the good news about Wiscasset. But Merry Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas, Judy, and thank you for all your effort.
Well, it was a bunch of, this year it was a bunch of little old ladies, Steve, that you can join us next year. And there'll be more plans for next year coming up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Steve?
Good evening. I just got a, this is my annual complaint. Downtown parking, winter parking. And we can all sigh and all that, but you know, we get people that take the downtown public parking lot, which one I say in behind Pendleton's, for those you don't know, it's in behind in the Clover. And we have people down there who live down there, who have driveways, who choose to use that town parking lot as their parking lot. So we, as you know, we everybody in this room that pays taxes, we pay for them to have a place to park. I see this as an abuse of them down there. We have people who rent down there. The landlords, I assume, choose to tell them that they can park in that parking lot. To me, it's just an abuse of the parking down there. If we're gonna allow that, then anybody in the town of Wiscasset, any of us, can just bring your vehicle down there and you can park it and leave it and nothing will be done. And I just think that it's wrong. It's been going on. I brought this up probably 3 times last year, and sad to say, nothing happened. And we got, you know, and I'm not here to speak for the public works, but I was on the plow truck with the guys yesterday. We couldn't even get into the parking lot to plow it out. So if you got people who are going to complain that the parking lot is, you know, full of snow, you can't get in, you can't plow it. We wanted to clear brush out of there last week because we got some problems in the same parking lot. We couldn't get in there because these vehicles parked there and they stay there all day. Some of them stay there for days on end. I mean, there's cars down there now that have been there for days and covered in snow. What are we gonna do? I don't know. I know what I would do, but that's me. But I just think that it's an abuse of the parking privileges down there, and that people just take advantage of using that parking lot for their own driveway because they don't want to park in their own driveway. There's one house in particular down there's got 2 driveways. He has 2 vehicles. Where's he park his vehicles? He parks them in that parking lot, and they sit there all day, all night. And again, I just think that it's an abuse, and we've got to do. I think we've got to do something about that. Other than that, that's all I got. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Steve. Thank you. Okay, anyone else on public comment?
I wanted to thank Steve for saying what he did, and I do remember, at least for the last year, you did come in and complain about the same thing. And we have a new police chief, and perhaps we can talk to the
You want me to address it?
commissioner about plowing and all of that stuff.
You want me to address it?
What are the regulations in that law? That's a good place to start.
I would need to bring myself up to speed
Yeah,
on
no,
this
I
one,
understand.
but I know that Larry talked to Doug today. Did you want to share your?
I think we
plan?
just give Steve a ticket book and let him.
I
I know I've talked to Doug a couple times. I've actually come over early. Unfortunately, we don't have the coverage to have anybody out there between midnight and 6 a.m. to enforce that parking ban. I've came out a few times at 4 a.m. to do that. I'll be out tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. And Steve and I have actually talked about hooking up so he can show me the problem areas. And I think it's just going to be consistent enforcement to try to get people to, you know, obey that ordinance. So.
But I'm not sure that there's a limit in that law. That's why I said we should know
Well,
what that
I
is
know-
first.
Well, I know parking on the street, the sign's right there that says midnight to 6 a.m. I don't know about I had Nicole pull the parking ordinance for me today. I haven't read that yet. I did try to read it at one point, but it seemed really confusing to me. But I'm sure Steve can educate.
I believe, Bobby, in that parking lot that I'm talking about, there are signs that say 2-hour parking.
Okay, yeah, well,
And there's also a funky sign down there that says, has something to do with 20, and a 24-hour limit, you can park there for so many hours. But then right beside that sign is a 2-hour parking sign. So it's kind of hosed, for lack of better words.
Was the funky sign a town sign, or
Yeah,
somebody made it?
It's
It's a town sign.
a town, yeah.
If it's a resident of Wiscasset who has a driveway, who can park their car in a driveway, and he's got 2 cars there, I would think that maybe we should find out who that person is and possibly send
I
them
think
a
we know
letter.
who that person
We know who it is.
but I think there may be
No,
more.
I know.
To be able to reach out to them and say, you cannot park there, and if you continue parking there, we're gonna tow it, if we're able to.
Well, if the signs already tell them they can't, they should get a ticket, whatever.
I think bottom line is, I mean, I'm working with Doug to try to rectify that issue. So maybe, maybe next year it'll be a different story, maybe the rest of this year, but until we get somebody out there to enforce it between those hours, unless we just start towing cars at snowstorms, which we've done, I've done before in past communities. I'm not sure the town wants me to do that, but, it can be done if Bobby comes out and does it.
Well, you usually don't have to tow very many. But I do
Word
think
gets
that
out.
the people need to know what the rules are.
Right.
And
Well, I know that morning I came out 2 mornings in a row. The first morning, I think I wrote maybe 6 or 8 warnings. The next morning, there was 1 vehicle parked there, and it wasn't one of the 6 or 8. And, but I know after talking to Steve, and I've seen myself coming in, it's been a few weeks since I've done that, and they're all parking right back there again. So, without that consistent enforcement at night, they're gonna abuse it. So,
Right.
but I'll work on correcting that problem, Steve.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Any other public comment? Okay. Let us go on to department head or committee chair. Department head monthly reports. Any comments on those? Yes, Bob.
could I ask a couple of department-related questions that really aren't covered in the reports? I was just curious if there was any update on the repair to the fire truck.
No, I don't believe TJ's received all the information that he's waiting for.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
And we accepted with some conditions the bid on the wreck truck here a couple meetings ago.
We did.
Yeah, was they able to provide the vehicle?
They were.
What did we get for trade-in? I didn't.
I don't believe we traded, Bob. I think, I don't think that was part of the deal. I'll double check with Lisa, but I think.
Well, I don't think it was because it wasn't mentioned in the.
No, I don't believe
in
we
the
did,
bid.
because we had talked about in previous conversations generally, no final decision made, about if the airport could use that out on the runway. Remember Rick was talking about having a vehicle, he doesn't take it off-road anywhere, but that could run things from one end of the airport to the other. But let me follow up on that, Bob.
I'm sure you're right. I just.
No, I'm not
I
sure
should have
about
asked that
so-
night and I didn't think about it, and then I realized that we hadn't talked about a trade-in value.
Anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
Anybody else? Okay, let us go forward. Unfinished business, comp plan update, next steps. That was tabled till January.
Good, it's not January yet.
Under new business, resignations. We have several here.
I'll move we accept those 2 resignations.
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you. Municipal quitclaim deeds, Sally Berry, Star Pinkham, and Albert Pinkham. Do I have a motion?
I'll move the 3 quitclaim deeds.
I'll second them.
Any questions? All those in favor? Monthly financials. Anything comments?
Bernice, anything notable that you wanted to point out? I mean, most of the budgets, as you can see, are right where they're supposed to be. Our department has done a great job paying attention. Bernice and I actually had a conversation today. We need to pay close attention to the senior citizens budget, just make them aware of the limitations on that budget. They're not out of line or anything, but their contracted services are getting pretty tight. So we just need to make sure that they're aware of that.
Okay. The next item is January meeting dates. The first meeting for the board is January 1st, which is a holiday. So we were thinking of changing it to January 8th. following Tuesday. And then we can determine whether we want to skip a week. Because it would be what, the 8th and the 15th?
Yep.
And we can also, if you want to do the 8th and the 15th, or you want to do 8 and then skip a week and come back the following Tuesday.
Do the 8th now, and decide on the 8th.
Okay, we can decide on the 8th. Everybody else set for the 8th? At 6 o'clock. Okay, bid opening for the 2019 4th of July fireworks. We have 2 bids. PDK Pyro out of Yarmouth, Maine. Approximately 18 to 20 minutes, $10,500. That's proposal 1. Proposal 2 is approximately 18 to 20 minutes for $6,500. And there are different classes of fireworks. Proposal 1 has Class B. Proposal 2 has Class C fireworks. I don't know what the difference is. That is PDK Pyro. P is a Paul. PD Pyro. Out of Yarmouth. This is Pyro City out of Hollowell, Maine. $8,000 is their bid.
And they don't say what class,
Yeah,
so.
we don't forget B's or C's from them.
There was no B's or C's. It just tells you opening barrage, barrage, main display, grand finale, total shells in display, including box barrage, 2,281 fireworks, I assume.
Is that, obviously, that's how it makes,
How
Your current vendor.
yes.
Mhm.
Isn't it less money than we usually pay for them?
I think we paid $8,000 last year.
Those are your 2.
You think we ought to find out the difference between B and C?
We don't know the
I don't know.
time on the second one either. Was any of this stuff asked for in the bid request?
So I don't know about class, but it says in that explanation for main pyrotechnics, it says years ago we were able to fire 5-inch shells from this location and have now been restricted by the fire marshal to 4-inch shells. Over the years, the trees have grown larger and obstructing some of the viewing area. Central Maine Pyrotechnics would like to offer the town a means of moving the display from the school to floating docks in the area of the wastewater treatment plant. They will provide the docks requiring the necessary permits from the Coast Guard. What this will do is allow people to come to the downtown area and see the fireworks from the bridge as well as from the new parking lot along the roadway next to the water. But he does not talk about ADers.
And which one is that, the first one?
This is, Central Maine Pyrotechnics.
Out of Hollowell. That's
That's
the
the
first
second
one.
one, that's the one we've been using for
Yes.
a few years.
Well, if they can do it off the, out on the water, that's a big plus. If they're
And I don't
not-
know, like that one says different shells, but I don't know if it says how many shells, so this one says how
No,
many shells.
PDK Pyro, they have, their client list includes Portland Sea Dogs, Beechridge Motor Speedway, the Yarmouth Clan Festival, and the town of Gorham. It is design includes an opener, main body, mini finale, and grand finale. It's all with the inspection. Proposal 1, type of product, professional display product, class B, 1.3 G fireworks. That's approximately 18 to 20 minutes, that's $10,500. Professional display product or class B fireworks is used in most public outdoor display shows like the Yarmouth Clam Festival. Professional display fireworks will shoot higher in the air and is also more expensive product to shoot. Proposal number 2 is a consumer product class C 1.4 G fireworks. That's 18 to 20 minutes. It's $6,500. Consumer product or class C fireworks is typically used when there is a distance and or budget restrictions. Consumer product is less expensive than professional display product, but is smaller in size and will not go as high in the sky. 90% of the Portland Sea Dog Show are shot with the consumer product because they have a very strict distance and height restrictions.
That kind of sounds like the stuff you can buy yourself.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's what they call it, consumer
Yeah.
something, yeah.
You hear
That's the key word.
Two.
Well, what about the Central Maine Pyrotechnics?
That's the one. That's Central Maine Pyrotechnics and PDK Pyro. Those are the only
Okay.
two we have.
All right, you said Pyro City, and I thought that was.
Well, that's on his envelope.
That's on his
It's Maine
envelope.
Oh, okay,
Pyrotechnics, yes.
right. So that's Central Maine Pyro.
Yeah.
So,
I'll go with Grand Pyro City for 8,000.
And is that the one that talked about getting dogs?
Yes.
yes, they're the ones that do it, we normally use.
I'd second your motion.
Okay, all those in favor?
I'd just like to know that we're gonna get the professional grade.
He didn't bid consumer.
Okay, well, I mean, if these are for professional grade fireworks and it's gonna run for 18 to 20 minutes, it's certainly a better deal.
And on the water, off the water.
Can we just make sure that they start at the right time? Because some people felt like they started early last year, and so,
We can make sure that's in the contract.
yeah, that they started at the right time. I like the idea of it being out in the water, so you can see it from other places.
I've seen it out in the water.
No, gives you no indication of what type of, what grade they are.
Maybe that could be a note in the,
Right.
in the contract.
Yeah, like maybe if it's consumer, then you can come back and tell us, and we'll.
Okay.
You can say professional and then not consumer or whatever, yeah.
Otherwise, we could just get Big Al and do it. Just kidding.
Okay, we'll go on.
Okay, motion and a
I
second.
know, all those in favor?
Big decision.
Thank you. Okay, town manager's report.
So you have in your packet, you may remember the conversation about being paid for the salt and sand shed. Just wanted you to see we really did receive the money. Bernice has given it a good home. So we did receive $49,651.92. So the check did come in. It was really in the mail. And then I'm glad that Mr. Forrest is here this evening. To talk about the Providence request for needing more electricity on the pier. Can you offer information that I know I just mess it up with?
Okay. The boat builder expects to have 4 to 5 people working on the boat at one time.
Yeah, celebrity.
That means that more than one saw or drill will be going on at one time. So what he would like us to do, like me to do, is to get your permission to hire Frank Cotton, who's your town electrician, to install a meter and run 110 to the boat to cover this type of extra electricity. We don't want the town, I keep saying we, but the Providence does not want the town to pay for the electricity, so that's why the meter. We're talking 110, so it's not too extensive. And I would need your permission to hire the electrician to give us an estimate on that, so that it'll be by code, and the Providence will pay for everything. And in the spring, when it's time to remove it, they'll also pay for that.
How can we have a problem with that?
And then we can't. I have no problem. Does anybody else on the board have a problem? Do we need a motion?
Nope, just direction.
I think the reason that it got a little bit confused is that people thought that we were asking the town to install that, and that's just not the case.
Oh, I don't know. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So I have to go ahead to hire
Yes, you
Frank to do this.
Go right
Yes,
ahead.
sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas to the Providence.
Anything else?
Yes, so just wanted to let you know that we'll be meeting on Friday at 9 o'clock to talk about the Connect Me grant. The town and the chamber are working together to distribute residential and business surveys for input into the future design. And so I wanted to make you aware of that. This is actually a project that goes way back to when Ms. Flanagan was on the board talking about broadband. So it's a project that moves a little slower than we might like, but wanted to let you know that it is moving forward. So we'll be, probably have another update for you at your January meeting, but we are meeting Friday at the Lincoln County Planning Office at 9 a.m. So anybody that's interested in that is welcome to attend. We'd love to have you there. This afternoon, I'm glad John's with us this evening. He sent me an email about a Maine Yankee memorandum. It's a letter of agreement between Maine Yankee and the Wiscasset Ambulance Service. For those of you that have been on the board a while, you're familiar with this. The purpose of this particular letter is to continue the arrangements previously agreed upon November of 2017 that basically says Wiscasset Ambulance will respond to Maine Yankee to all incidents involving personal injury. They will provide the facilities and the training to personnel to deal with decontamination and all exercises relating to radioactive material. Basically wanted to bring this to your attention. Unless there are any objections, we plan to sign this agreement. I guess you folks have done this for many, many years, so wanted to bring it to your attention. So unless there's an objection, I'd like to have John take care of this and sign the agreement for the town. I mean, we're going to respond anyway, but it's just a more formal agreement, so if you're okay with that. The other thing that we had talked about was Christmas Eve and closing the town office at noontime. Staff will be using their own time. It is not a holiday time that the town is paying for. Employees will use their own vacation time for this. And so we'll be getting the word out to the newspapers and obviously putting it on our sign. I wanted to give a special thank you to staff that have covered for me. I have been out for a few days with this business going on, and so I appreciate it. I was out 2.5 days last week and a day the week before, so staff has really done a good job to pick up the slack and communicate with me when I wasn't able to communicate myself. So I wanted to say thank you for that. So that's all I have.
Okay. Yes, Dick.
Speaking of thank yous, I would like to thank the select board for allowing the Providence to be here. The people in town have benefited, Ames Supplies specifically, Napa, John Bardell, we're talking several $1,000s working on the engine, McGuire Woodworks covering the boat, and local boat builders out of Woolwich and Pittsburgh, places like that. and Hamilton Marine. So there's a lot of benefit for that boat being here, a lot of interest from people coming by and looking at it and getting involved with the brochures that are available. And tomorrow afternoon at 1:15, we'll have a tour from Ben Clark's history group. There'll be 6 students coming aboard for a tour of the vessel.
Good.
So, thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
going very well.
Thank you too.
Judy? What about it? Are we doing the?
Yes, we're going to do it right now.
Oh,
It is now 3 minutes past 6, so we can go back and do the public hearing. Can I have a motion for public hearing, please?
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you. Okay, we have a public hearing on a special amusement permit for Carla Chapman doing business as the Cubby Hole Sports Pub. Are there any questions for Carla? She is here. Does anybody have any questions?
No.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, Ray, you gotta heckle her a little bit, don't you?
You're going to, I say you're going to have a band? Is that what you're planning to start?
It's just 2 people for
Okay.
this time, but I want to be able to do it for the following year. Probably Saturday nights, not every Saturday night. Like this one's only until 8. We're usually closed by 8:30.
Okay,
So it's not like, till 1 in the morning or anything like that.
okay. All right. Any other questions?
Race all West Stone Road. I've now got a racetrack on the north side of me and a park on the south side of me. And I couldn't ask for better neighbors. I mean, really, the both of these guys are doing a good job. And Carla's place has become extremely popular with their takeout meals and their pizzas. And so I'm really happy to have her as a neighbor.
Very good, thank you.
Wow.
Very
I
good.
didn't know that.
Okay, if there's no more questions, can I have a motion to come out of public hearing?
So moved.
All those in favor? Okay, now let's have a motion about the permit.
I'll move we grant the special amusement permit for Carla Chapman doing business as the Cubby Hole Sports Pub.
And I will second it.
All those in favor? Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
The other thing is other board business. I received a letter, the board received a letter from a gentleman who's a resident of town. And it states, I just read the minutes of the last selectmen's meeting. I learned that the school board invited the selectmen to attend several budget meetings for the school system. You said your interest is not budgets, but whether the school board has a vision or strategy for the next few years. I was surprised to learn of the school board's secondhand response. As you well know, the selectmen have been asking for a meeting with the schools for weeks, if not months. Inviting attendance at the budget sessions is unlikely to lead to an evaluation of the school's performance and success. Now we have learned that the Wiscasset schools are lagging state English, math, and science averages, except WMHS, which slightly exceeded in one category, according to the Wiscasset newspaper. The bright spot is being slightly better than average. You and I both know how the cost of schools has impacted the town. Property taxes are sky high and basic town maintenance responsibilities are being deferred or are simply unmet. Yet the school board, independent as it is, has no reluctance to budget and spend, delivering below average results. With this record of non-achievement, I'm not surprised the board has dodged the selectmen. The board acts as if it's accountable only to itself. Its independence and failing Wiscasset school system are unaffordable luxuries. Signed, Frank Branco, 136 Clarks Point Road, Wiscasset, Maine. I read that to make sure it was in the minutes Bob asked me.
Would you, the last name is Draco or Barnaco?
Barnaco, I'm sorry.
That's what I.
B-A-R-N-A-K-O.
You want that
Yes.
in the minutes?
Yes, please.
Attached.
Is there any other board business? Seeing none, before we have an adjournment, I would like, on behalf of the Board of Selectmen, to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, a safe holiday, and we will see you January 8th.
Here.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Can I have an adjournment?
So moved.
All those in favor? Thank you.
We should be.
You're like that 5:30.
Oh, absolutely.